What's up, my friends? This is Professor Tim Crater, and this is one of my good friends at Black Belts, Professor Jared Conks. He's been training with me about 13 years. Welcome to the Gladiators Academy Online War Chest. So today, Jared and I are going to teach some concepts from a position called Smount. I got my black belt from Carlson Gracie black belt Rodrigo Medeiros, who is considered one of Carlson's most technical black belts. Rodrigo schools in San Diego, and he's trained many champions, himself being a Masters World Champion in 2002. Rodrigo utilized this S-mount position for many years, me being on the bottom of it and suffering dramatically from it, and seeing a number of extremely proficient attacks from this S-mount position. In watching Jiu-Jitsu today, I don't see as much S-mount as I would like to, because it's a very dominant position, a crushing position. So today we're going to go over a series of finishes from the S-mount, how to get there from the regular mount, and then a series of finishes from there that Rodrigo taught me over the course of many years. So enjoy, and let me know if you have any questions. Okay. So from the mount position, I have my knees tight, my feet tucked in, and I like to stay pretty heavy. As I begin to come up and make cross choke attacks, cross choke's one of my favorite submissions. A lot of times what happens is the guy's hands get really close and he starts to really defend the cross choke position, so I cannot get my hands in. This is the time when I convert my mount to what I call Leca mount. I learned from Leca Vieira, and then from there, I go to my S-mount position. So as my opponent pulls their elbows really close to their body to defend my cross chokes, I immediately drop my chest on their wrists, put my hands on the mat, and jump my feet to their hips. This creates a lot of pressure for Jared, and it sticks his arms in the position that he tried to defend. Okay? From there, I keep one hand on the mat, and my opposite hand, I come to the tricep. All I'm going to do from here is pop that elbow across my belly and drop my weight on the tricep. So 1, 2. As I drop my weight on the tip of his elbow, I can bring my right knee to his ear and kind of start to cement the S-mount. My left foot makes a half circle, and I'm securely in the S-mount position. A big mistake people make is this right foot. They bring that foot in real close and you can get rolled that way. You want this position to be an S. So I want my S that way, and I want my foot to trail a little bit. In terms of weight distribution, I want about 90% of my weight on this left thigh over Jared's sternum, creating a lot of pressure, and maybe 10% on this right knee. Okay? This position is what we call S-mount. And it gives me a lot of attacks because it exposes my opponent's arms. Now, for the armbar of death, usually when I get here, the far arm is on the top. And I'm going to be attacking the bottom arm. So my position is my left hand comes in and grabs the thumb and fingers. And then I put my elbow, I put his hand right in my elbow socket, and I grab my collar. Jared's going to be pretty strong here, so just laying back is very often not enough. So what I like to do is I use my hips and my body to drive in this direction, stretching the arm, and I put my post. Now, it's easy for me to smear my right leg over Jared's head and finish that armbar from here. I don't even have to lay all the way back. I prefer not to, because sometimes when my opponents are a little bit bigger, I'm a pretty big guy, so opponents in my weight class are big, sometimes when I lay back, they can use that momentum to come on top. So one more time, from the S mount, I get the thumb and fingers and I put it in my elbow joint, grabbing my collar. I'm gonna drive, using my hips, driving into his tricep to straighten his arm. Left hand on the mat, right knee smears across his head, and hips in, and I finish the armbar from there. Okay, so that is the armbar of death finish from the S mount. Okay, but there's a couple other submissions I really like to use, because sometimes as I'm going after this hand, he'll start to fight me with this hand. That fight, just like that, can make things a little bit tough getting this arm. So what I do is I take my hand and I come right inside his forearm with the Y of my hand, and I pop his hand past my face. I catch the thumb right in my neck, and I connect my hands right at his elbow joint. All I'm gonna do from here is pinch my knees together and pull his elbow towards my chest for the reverse arm bar on the far arm. Right? So one more time, as I'm going for this arm, I feel him push across and I lock it right in the joint of my neck. My hand comes across the elbow, I make my connection, pinch my knees, and pull the elbow towards my sternum. And I can finish with this reverse arm lock. Okay? The last submission of the day that we're going to show is an extremely cool wrist lock from here that I really like to do. A lot of the times when I get to this position, my opponent has a good understanding of the fact that I'm attacking this arm. And they'll start to make some grips, maybe deep in their collar, and really kind of make it tough for me to get this hand. This happens a lot. I'll kind of make a fight, but what I'm really gonna do is take my left hand and shoot it under the top arm. As I come under this top arm, my right hand is gonna put my palm down on the pinky and ring finger knuckles. Just like so. And I want that wrist, I don't want to push straight down, I want there to be torque in that wrist. Okay, this is the way Aikido masters use wrist locks, in a twisting wrist lock. So as I feel he's not giving me this arm, I come inside, I get the palm of my hand on the knuckles, and I grab the thumb joint with my fingers. My other hand comes in and grabs my wrist, and I'm gonna drive his wrist in a circular fashion towards my foot. And I get the tap easy. So if I can't get this arm, and I can't get the reverse arm lock, I feed, and I catch. Wrist lock, and I turn it in. Now those are about 3 of about 20 different attack submissions I use from S-mount. But as you can see, the S-mount's a very versatile and a very powerful position to utilize from the mount. It takes away a lot of the movement, it takes away a lot of the comfort, and it takes a lot of the space away from my opponent. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any other questions, let us know, and I look forward to seeing you in the Gladiators Online Library.